Welcome everyone to The Howl. I'm Emily Durkin, and in this episode, I sat down with varsity girls basketball captain Kristin Wentling and coach Courtney Ludois to discuss how the season is going. In this episode, we focused on the end of the 2023 portion of the season and what's to come moving forward. Thanks for joining, and we hope you enjoy. Hello everybody, and welcome back to The Howl. My name is Emily Durkin, and the producer of today's show is Roman Dubicki, and we are very excited to have varsity girls basketball coach Courtney Ludois and captain Kristin Wentling here in the Dispatch podcast studio powered by Jets Pizza. Hi guys, thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having us.
Okay, so just to sort of warm things up here, how was each of your winter breaks?
Mine was good. I've got two little kids, so it's a lot of entertaining, but the holidays are always fun with them, so it was great.
Mine was also really good, spending time with family, and then obviously the basketball season, so.
Okay. So over break, the team participated in a tournament at Morton College just after Christmas where you went 2-2. What do you guys feel went well, and is there anything the team might need to work on, like coming out of there?
Yeah, the Christmas tournaments are always kind of a make or break for some teams, and I feel like we didn't have our best tournament. Our very first game was a tough one. We were up the whole game, lost by 2 to Geneva, which is, they're a good team, but we had a couple games thrown in there where I feel like we didn't play up to our potential, and 4 games in 4 days is a lot to begin with. So I feel like we learned a lot about our team, and we really had, I at least had a reflection over break of what we need to get back to and what we need to be better at, and I feel like since then we've been playing really well.
Okay, so when you're playing around the holidays, is it ever hard to focus because there's so much of that, a different atmosphere going on? There's different stuff to focus on.
I just think that I'm kind of used to it because I've been playing basketball for so long, and basketball's always been over Christmas break. So, yeah.
How do you, learn to push those distractions aside, when you're on the court? How did you develop that?
I think it's just kind of like an instinct. I, listen to music before, and I just kind of lock in during the game. So all the people around me kind of just disappear, and I don't really pay attention to them.
So ultimately, you guys did have a tough loss in overtime to Leon's 53-48 in the Consolation Championship game, closing out 2023 with a record of 11-7. Looking back on that past year, did the 2023 portion of your season meet your expectations?
I think this season was a big unknown for a lot of us. Obviously, we had goals and we had expectations, but with a brand new coaching staff and pretty much a brand new team, we really had no clue of how it was going to go. And I feel like 2023 was meant to get us to where we are now. And I feel like it was kind of a stepping stone, a building block for us to really just figure out who we are, and so that we can know how to proceed from there. So I feel like we've really turned a corner. I think our prospect game was a really big turning point for our team, and ever since then, I don't think we've lost since then. And we've been playing really well together.
Coach, how are your first 2 official months as a Hersey coach?
Great. That definitely some frustrating times. Some trying to, needing to understand that patience is needed, and I'm not a very patient person. These guys will tell you that. So you want everything to happen right away. You want to be, in first place in the conference right away. And it didn't happen for us, but we were patient, and we kept learning, we kept working, and I feel like our goal was you have to get better every single day. Every practice, every game has to be better, and I feel like we're finally understanding that, and we have some kids that have really stepped up and have really gotten there. So I'm really loving it here at Hersey. I'm really loving our team and where we're at right now.
Okay, so now that we're in the new year, is there anything that you guys are going to try and focus on improving, maybe a New Year's resolution or something?
You got a good one?
I can't really think of any right now. Probably just keep winning and working as a team. That's one of our main goals right now. I think in the beginning of the season we kind of fell away from that, and I think now we really came together as a team. So.
Yeah, I think our big focus for us is we've said from the beginning our goal for this year is just be us. We don't need to be last year's team. We don't need to be anybody else in our conference. We just need to stick to our strengths. And I think it's easy to get distracted by, this team is playing really well, all these outside things. So I think it's just important to focus on what we can control which is our work ethic.
So let's talk about last night's game. It was a pretty close one, but you guys pushed through and took the win 39-29. How do you keep your composure in such tight situations like that when something like the number one spot in the MSL is like on the line?
Again, you just have to like lock in and be on the same page with everyone, and we needed to win that game. So everyone coming together and just playing their game.
It was a must-win for us. If we wanted any chance of the East, it was a must-win. And there's a balance of, like, there's pressure on this game, but you also can't go into it like there's so much pressure because then you're not going to play well. So I thought we had a good game plan. I thought we listened to the game plan. I thought we made some good adjustments at halftime, and we had a lot of people really step up, especially in that fourth quarter.
So you guys are currently ranked first overall after that game in the MSL East. What do you believe makes the team stand out against those other teams and place this high?
I guess just like together again.
Mm-hmm.
We work hard, and at the end of the day, I think we were the best team this whole time. We just had to figure each other out.
Yeah, I mean, we've had 2 good battles with Meadows. We're gonna have a really good battle with Prospect next week. We beat them here at home, by 24, but I don't think that means anything at all heading into our next matchup with them. It's at Prospect. If they want a chance at the first place of MSL East, they have to win. That's a must-win for them, right? So it's gonna be a battle, and I think we just need to, keep preparing the way that we have been.
So, speaking of that, your first win against Prospect back on the 8th, you guys won 62-38. This game was critical in helping you guys take the second place spot in the MSL East. How do you guys prepare for a big game like that?
Once again, just prepare before, lock in, make sure everyone's on the same page, and you just have to win those games. So.
When you've already played a team, they know us really well, we know them really well. So it's just, understanding what their players do, what they do offensively, defensively, and listening to the game plan and making sure that we do what we're good at.
4 different players on the team scored in double figures that game, which was the first time this season. How do you guys encourage each other to step up offensively like that?
Well, I thought the first half of last night's game, we weren't really scoring, so the big thing during halftime was letting each other know that it's okay to take those shots and people are going to rebound and just keep shooting.
Yeah, we shoot a lot in practice. It was not our strength at the beginning of the year. We shot the ball very poorly for the first half of the season, and we spent a lot of time on it in practice, and we just keep telling them your preparation is going to pay off. And while it eventually did in the fourth quarter, you just have to trust that the time that you've put in is going to pay off. And the Prospect game was so great to see multiple people see their hard work pay off and then be happy for each other and celebrate each other's accomplishments, which is that's my favorite thing as a coach.
So another great game you guys had was against Buffalo Grove, where the team won 60-30. What does it mean to you guys to have that big of a win in a rivalry game like that?
Once again, just I don't know.
It's all right. Those games are good for us because we can get everybody in. Sometimes those games are hard to play, but being able to get all of our teammates in, because we've got girls on our team who work just as hard as our starters do in practice, but don't, get as much playing time. So I like getting everybody in, giving them a chance, and having our starters cheer for that, and that's always really great to see.
So recently, you guys shared about how the team went out and did some team building with laser tag. How important is it for you guys to set aside that time to just build that team friendship?
I think it's really important to get closer with everyone on the team, and by doing something fun like that, it really does bring the team closer.
And it's really easy to get caught up in we have to prep for this game, we have to prep for this next team, and get into that. And we had to take a step back and be team bonding is just as important. And while we don't get to do as much of it as I kind of wish we would be able to, I thought it was important to do that. And I think I would also like to point out that I was very dominant in laser tag, and I got the top score in the second game. So I just want to throw that out there also.
So the team has started to have more games played at home after having only 2 home games in 2023. Are you guys excited to be playing in the Carter Gym with more Hersey fans showing up?
Yeah, I really like the environment when I play home. The Orange Crush comes and everyone, the environment is just so much different than an away game.
Yeah, we're undefeated at home, so it's always nice to be here. We only have 6 or 7, I think, on the whole season. We have one more. We actually just added, that would have been our last home game, but we just added one against Hananiga on February 3rd, which is my alma mater, so we added them. So it's just different. It's nice to be at home in front of your home crowd and get, our kids here, our students, and it's always a good time.
Does it ever get a little nerve-wracking when you're playing here, knowing that there's a lot more Hershey fans watching, like a lot more people you might know?
I don't necessarily get that much nervous because I kind of just block out everyone, but I can see how other people can be.
For sure, like you want to do well for your home crowd, and I feel that as a coach, like when you're like, oh man, like, but then it's also the other side of that is you have all that support, and they're behind you, win or lose. Like when I played, I actually liked playing away better because it was like that whole aspect of like silencing a crowd and going down to their home court and beating them. But yeah, I feel like there is a little bit of an added pressure, but it's still a good feeling of support.
So lastly, just since we're just a little bit over halfway through the season now, is there anything you guys are doing to start preparing for the playoffs?
One thing is just to win out a whole MSL East and win the MSL East and just keep playing together and winning.
Yeah, right now that's our focus is the MSL East. We said, once we beat Prospect, Prospect helped us by beating Meadows. If we win out, then we're in the driver's seat and it's ours. If we lose one more, then it's a 3-way tie. And there's a lot of weird tiebreakers and stuff that are out of our control. So if we just win out, then we control it and it's ours. But we just want to make sure, we've said all year that we just want to be playing our best basketball by the time playoffs come. And I feel like we're moving in that direction for sure.
Well, that's it for today's show. Thanks to Christian Wentling and Coach Ludois, and thanks to our viewers for tuning in. Also, thanks to our sponsor, Jets Pizza, right over there on Rand Road. That'll do it for this episode. I'm Emily Durkin, and on behalf of our producer, Roman Debicki, thanks again, and we'll see you on the next episode.